First question.
Yes.
What is burlesque?
Burlesque is...
Burlesque is the art of the striptease. It's a vintage art form, but in a modern world. So burlesque is for all bodies.
For me, it's a celebration of bodies, of sensuality, of dance, of culture, really anything and everything you want it to be.
Yeah, burlesque to me is everything under the umbrella of like the art of the tease. It's always political.
It's sparkly, it's glamorous, it's classic, it's political, it's controversial, it's...
geeky, nerdy. It could be gothy.
Dark, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cultural, it's interpretive, it's modern, it's all the things in the world, and we get to represent it all.
I agree.
Yay.
Ditto.
It's also, I try to put a lot of comedy into mine because a lot of people are a little uncomfortable when they come to the show. So I try to lighten them up a little bit with some laughter.
It's about breaking the fourth wall. I think that's what makes it different from other like dance forms, is we're bringing the audience in to it, and we're having like a dialogue with them, kind of essentially.
How did you get into burlesque?
Short story.
Well, I had done dance for a long time and then I quit, and somebody invited me to go to a burlesque show, and I realized that I didn't really want to go to a burlesque show. I wanted to be in one.
I got thrown into classes, a series of classes with Penny Starr Jr. and Jewel of Denial.
I got into burlesque from my best friend, Jeez Louise, who is an amazing burlesque performer. And when I was trying to do drag, all my friends were like, no, baby, this ain't for you. And I also felt that same way.
It was just a really weird timing thing. I just Googled burlesque audition. And there was one, and I went to it, and then I danced in a troupe for a while, and that's like how I kind of got my start.
And then we graduated, and I was like, why not just keep going with it?
So when I saw the stage door Johnny's, that's when I kind of realized that men can do burlesque.
I took a series, just a very intro basic series. I was the one of like the darkest people in my class and the biggest person in my class.
Well, I'm a swing dancer. That's my other gig.
Champion, international, national champion.
But I was, for a long time, I was the partner. I wasn't a solo dancer. So I wanted to do something for myself. So I started a chorus line group.
So I started going to a club that they used to be in Hollywood, 40 Deuce, and my friend Carolina was one of the dancers, and then I connected what she was doing with the movie Gypsy.
And we started performing in local burlesque shows.
But then when we went into lockdown, I was looking for alternative forms of movement that were not like diet centered.
Yes.
And I got TikTok and your videos came on. Yeah.
Then I moved to New York and went to the Slipper Room, and then there was all shapes and sizes of humans performing, and then I thought, wait a minute, maybe I can do it. So I took classes with Joe Boobs, and years later, and all the things.
And here you are.
Yeah.
What, 16, 17 years?
19.
I was off a little bit.
How do you book your own shows, or do you have an agent or a manager?
I wish.
I do not have an agent or manager. I wish I did. Do people have that?
I joke that my spouse is my manager, but only because they're like pushing me like, oh, you should apply for this. Oh,
Yeah.
you should do this. But they're really just like my supportive person. But it's usually me like writing the emails, the DMs, scheduling. If I'm really lucky, someone will like reach out and be like, hey, we want you to do this show.
I think for myself, I love to reach out to the shows that I think are fun and inspiring and find out a way to participate.
I am my own agent and manager and promoter and marketing executive and assistant and producer and choreographer and music editor and video editor and promoter on Instagram and TikTok and all the things, because we do it all.
So true. I have no manager. I'm my manager, just like I'm my booking agent, I'm my assistant, I'm my everything. Yeah, it's just me.
Having social media and stuff like that to be able to like present things in a portfolio way when you're trying to get into the shows. But other than that, it's DIY, baby.
And that's actually why I came up with Shimmy Biz, to talk about the business side of burlesque.
Yes.
Because I feel like there's a lot of classes that teach dance, which is phenomenal, but nobody really talks about the business part of it.
That would be great. Maybe there's a slot for people to kind of a niche market for burlesque agents.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a lot of stuff. Oh my God.
Yes.
When you put it out there and say that like that, you're just like, holy shit, we do a lot
We do
as
it
one
all.
person.
Is there like some sort of burlesque playlist?
That's how they wrote it, like
Yeah.
some.
Yes, but also no.
I agree.
Like the official burlesque playlist that we all like. If you do burlesque, you have to use this now.
There is somewhat of a playlist as far as there's songs that like the good old Night Train, Harlem Nocturne,
Feeling Good.
Mm-hmm.
Sade, Is It a Crime?
you know, The Stripper.
Sonny Lester's Big Burlesque Orchestra that has a lot of classics, and it has Gypsy's theme.
I mean, I've made a burlesque playlist for sure, especially being a teacher, because there's a lot of songs that came out in the 60s when they were like having a burlesque revival from the golden era in the 30s. So I feel like that's kind of like burlesque playlist, but you can do burlesque to anything.
Yeah, when I first started, I thought there was a burlesque playlist. I thought you had to only dance to these songs, and then I took a class, and they were like, "Oh no, I dance to like R&B music," and I was like, "What?"
I feel like there's like songs, like very classic songs that like I'm always still learning every day, especially like the difference between like classic like US burlesque and like Latin burlesque.
Yeah.
But there's not really a burlesque playlist necessary that you have to pick songs from.
Like, yeah, I do like to do burlesque to a lot of like cumbia, like
Yes.
psychedelic cumbia.
Yeah, I like to do
dark
burlesque to
cumbia.
rock and roll. Like psychedelic rock and roll.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I like the classics, but I also like the modern music and being able to do classic moves with the modern music.
Yes.
That's where I live.
So there might not be a specific playlist, but I think there's things that we all sort of subscribe to.
Pink Pussycat, Kim DeVille's theme. You know, we all love that one.
Are you a nudist or an exhibitionist? Like, is that why we do burlesque? Because we're nudists or exhibitionists?
I like to get naked or close to if I'm gonna make money.
Facts.
So
Yeah, that's great.
I am not a nudist or exhibitionist because I don't get my thrills in my regular life being naked, only when I'm getting paid on stage.
I feel the same, although, and I don't feel that I'm a nudist, but I know when I was little, every time my parents turned their back, my clothes were off.
Same though, you know what, that's...
Always. So,
And I was very famous for showing my butt to everybody
Oh, yeah.
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So maybe a little bit.
I mean, I'm a bit of an exhibitionist, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, you're in a show. You're showing. Like, I don't really know what they mean by like exhibition. But you don't like go and do burlesque just like guerrilla style on the street.
No.
I'm the opposite probably of that. In my day-to-day life, I'm the most covered up in black constantly, like my head's down, and then I go on stage and I'm like, wow.
But there is something that's really like hot about people like watching you and you commanding a room like that. And I
Yeah.
think like when you're feeding off of that energy, like it's just
Yeah.
it is fun.
And it's my opportunity to be that person I wish I was more of off stage, on stage. That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't identify as exhibitionist or a nudist, but I would be lying if I said I didn't feel like the power.
Yeah, but you don't do that anymore.
But we sort of do, don't you think?
That's true. You funneled it into a way that was going to work
Yeah,
for you
so I
and
think we found
financially.
our way there.
That's
Yeah.
true, that's true. So maybe?
Does your family know that you do burlesque?
Fun question. Yes and no.
Yes, my family knows I do burlesque. They don't go out to a bunch of shows or anything, but they're supportive, and I appreciate that.
oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
My family loves that I do burlesque. My mom named me Tito Bonito. My little cousins were trying to do my numbers that they saw on YouTube when they were little. They might be arguably too supportive, actually.
Like, my mom knew because someone told her, and then, like, we don't speak of it. But I travel the world, and she's like, why are you always gone? Why are you spending money going traveling? And I'm like, well, it's like, yeah, it's weird.
They know. They all know that I do burlesque. My mom has been to one show when I did Viva the first time. My dad will never come to the show. My brother pretends not to see. But they're all very supportive from a distance.
My dad passed a few years ago when I started doing burlesque. He did not know, and my mom does not know. To this day, she does not know. Because there are times where I will do gigs when I'm staying with her, and I have to kind of like sneak out like I'm a teenager.
Oh my god! I was like, I'm just going out
Right,
with
with my
rolling
huge
suit
backpack, and she's like, "Where are you going?"
and my blinkers.
With my eyelashes. She's aware that something's happening, but
Yeah.
I think we're too scared to have that conversation with each other. I don't think we're ready yet, but everyone else in my life knows.
My family knows that I am a performer. Actually, when I first started in New York, I was talking to my dad on the phone. I remember telling him, like, Dad, I found these classes and it's so fun and it's so liberating and da-da-da. And he's like, okay. So, and then after a few years, my mom would ask me, so when are you going to stop? Nobody's going to take you seriously. And I'm like, well, that's too bad for them. I'm still going to do it.
Yeah.
I love what I'm doing, so ni modo, I'm going to still do it.
My kids sort of know.
Yeah, that's right. Your mom.
I have a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old, and my 17-year-old loves it, thinks it's so cool.
Actually, my aunt came before I did my first show. She was like, I can't believe you're doing this. Like, she saw a Facebook post or something like that. She saw it and she was so worried about it. And then I was like, you know what, just come to a show. I don't know what my brain was doing at that moment where I was like, you know what, you'll see. And she came and she was like, oh, that was so wonderful to see you up there being so confident and hearing all the nice things people were saying about you in the audience. Like, I couldn't believe that was you on stage. And I was like, yeah, you got to shift your thinking about it.
Yep.
You know?
You have to see
And it
to
is
believe
raunchy.
it.
And raunchy's fine.
Exactly. Exactly.
Have you ever gotten stuck in a costume on stage?
When I first started doing burlesque and I would just kind of buy things without adjusting them and just kind of hope that they came off, I definitely got stuck a lot.
It was like a pink and black top thing, and yeah, it was not coming off for nothing. And so I just shushed it down to my waist. It was the bra. I just shushed it down around my waist. I'm like, okay, whatever. At least you got to see the goods. So.
And I was always really lucky that they were in shows where you're on a floor in the round.
Oh, yeah.
And there were people that I knew that were in the audience. So I just, like, ran up to them and was, like, whispered to, like, can you unzip me? Can you help me?
Yeah.
I've gotten stuck in way too many costumes. It's kind of a problem, I think. Thinking about it, I'm like, why does that keep happening? I don't have the hardest of, like, hooks and things, but it happens because that's how the universe wants to test me, I guess.
My costumes only recently have been elaborate, but I've definitely helped like a lot of people like with costume issues, especially when they're panicking. And sometimes you got to take a scissor to it. You got to do the best you just got to rip it and say, I'll fix it later.
Yeah. But I'm really picky about my costumes. Like, I only started wearing a corset like in the past couple of years. I'm very, very like, it has to be so easy to come off because I don't like to mess with a lot of tricky stuff. Yeah, I like to just like give the vibes and do the tease.
I kind of love it when people do get stuck and the song ends and they still do it anyway.
I think they appreciate when things, because it's like real time and, you know, it's showbiz.
Burlesque performers are often sparkly. Do you ever get any sparkly bits stuck in unmentionable places?
Yes, and so does my husband, and so does my dog, and I sweep them up every day, and we have rhinestones everywhere, and it's like our Lego.
Yes, I feel like we all do at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah.
Especially like, when you're in the shower after the show and you're like, oh, why is there a rhinestone on my shoulder? How did that rhinestone get on my butt cheek? Like, where did it come from? Because that's not the color I used.
Yeah.
All the time, but normally I don't notice it until I'm showering later. And no, a lot of times I'll pull like a long hair and I'll be like, what? I have the shortest hair ever. Where did this come from?
Yes.
Glitter. If it's not rhinestones, it's definitely glitter.
I think it's just perpetual in our lives. Glitter just surrounds us.
We make the world a sparklier place.
That's why we shine.
My husband has a nice little collection of rhinestones that he finds around the house, though.
How are you going to hide it from your family if you ever spend time over there?
I definitely shower.
Do you have any burlesque injuries? Like sports-related injuries?
My left ankle.
I have sports-related injuries, but I sustained them before I started doing burlesque.
No, I have not, thankfully. I've seen a lot of my friends go through it.
How did that happen?
This one, dancing on stage. It was a floor show. And it was my first time at the show, and I was subbing for somebody, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to dance on the tables, I'm not going to dance on the bar, like, I'll be safe, I'm going to be on the floor.
I have like a habit though of not injuring people, but like I will take my gloves off and accidentally like whip people.
Oh no!
So I've done that a couple times, but I've been really apologetic.
It's the
And
adrenaline.
and give stickers out, and I'm like, I'm so sorry.
It wasn't necessarily burlesque related, but I was ring girling for Lucha Vavoom, and we were at the side of the stage, and everybody's like, okay, blah, blah, whatever. So I jumped down, or stepped down, but I forgot that it sloped, so my foot just whoop, and I broke 2 toes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not in burlesque, but in my swing dance life, I blew out my knee on live TV. I've had all kinds of sports injuries in dance, but I'm very cautious about the shoes I wear in burlesque because of it. So I play it very safe.
Dang, burlesque is a dangerous sport,
It's
folks.
dangerous.
It can be.
Oh, your favorite question. Have you ever farted on stage?
Probably.
Not that I recall. No.
I don't think that I have. I feel like if I have, it's probably been on a stage show where you're like far away from the audience and they can't.
I can't say that I have.
I've had like a runny nose because I think I had a cold or something. I remember I was turning and I was like, shoo, and I'm like, oh, better up.
That was the same thing I was gonna say.
TMI, we might cut this part out. One time I almost pooped on stage before I went on.
I was in a troupe one time and we all went and had dinner right before our show, and like 4 people, I don't know, I just did not agree with them, and they all had bubble guts. And I just remember being at Tech and there was just like people, they were just like, and I was just thinking like, we have a show in like 30 minutes, you guys, I hope you're okay because we're gonna be doing high kick.
Oh no! This one time I did a turn and I saw.
And I was in a jaw strap, so it was not, and I just breathed. I said,
But I feel like when I'm on stage, I have this thing called show health, where it doesn't matter what's going on with your body. Like for those 4 minutes, you get on stage and you're just on.
and it went away. Bubble guts went away. But that's adjacent to farting on stage to me. But
Yeah.
it didn't come out. It didn't come out.
There's always that moment before you start where you're like, I think I have to pee. And then like it goes
Always,
away.
always. I hate that feeling. I'm like, you don't have to pee.
Got it. Give me one, like, just kind of lean forward, maybe jazz hand, just something, so I have a little bit of a, like, just something that moves. Yeah. Good job.